I'm Tavarita, and this is 1% Money Mindset. Imagine this. It's Wednesday morning. You're 30 years old. You wake up without an alarm, pour a fresh cup of coffee, and look at your planner. There are 0 meetings, 0 deadlines, 0 obligations. This is the core promise of the FIRE movement. You spend your 20s saving aggressively to buy infinite freedom from managers, commutes, and alarms. That first month feels incredible. You sleep in, you read, you breathe. But by day 40, the lack of momentum starts to feel heavy. You find yourself lying in bed because the day ahead lacks a single compelling reason to get up. This early victory often marks the entry point into a socially celebrated psychological trap that almost nobody sees coming. Infinite leisure eventually dissolves the contrast that makes a schedule work. Tuesday begins to look exactly like Saturday. Without the difficulty of a task to interrupt, the concept of rest loses its meaning, leaving the days to blur into each other. This chart tracks mental health outcomes following full labor force withdrawal. As the data points progress, notice the sharp 40% spike in clinical depression probabilities. Multiple studies confirm that retiring without a specific direction accelerates cognitive decline significantly faster than staying engaged. Your brain is a machine built for performance. When you remove the target it's been trained to hit, the system doesn't relax. It enters a state of persistent alarm. The corporate structures many people try to escape actually provide the architectural scaffolding that gives a day its shape and an individual their sense of place in the world. This illustrates the hedonic treadmill. You see the satisfaction line spike during a major achievement, but it decays right back to the baseline within months. Human hardware is designed to adapt to a new normal almost instantly, making the novelty of retirement vanish into the background of everyday life. Look at what happens when the hunt is removed. The satisfaction line flatlines. Our dopamine systems evolved to reward the pursuit of a goal, the struggle of the solve, rather than the state of having nothing left to do. When high-achieving brains lose their mandatory stakes, they often begin manufacturing problems. This manifests as reckless financial bets to simulate pressure, or the creation of interpersonal drama to fill the void where professional purpose used to sit. Depriving a capable mind of a worthy opponent forces that energy inward. Without a second act, the very mental health you worked to protect starts to unravel under the weight of purposeless time. Leaving the workforce eliminates visible predators like taxes and micromanagers, but it invites invisible ones that are much harder to negotiate with. Social erosion happens slowly. Your friends still share the context of the machine, promotions, manager issues, and limited PTO. You're free on a Tuesday, they're in meetings. Eventually, the shared language disappears, and the invitations thin out. There is also the reality of identity collapse. In our culture, self-worth is often tied to your answer to the question, "What do you do?" Removing that answer at 30 leaves a vacuum that most people aren't prepared to fill. The common advice is to fill that vacuum with travel, volunteering, or creative hobbies like pickleball. However, there is a massive depth requirement for a high-functioning brain. Hobbies occupy your hours, while a mission occupies your sense of self. One provides a distraction, the other provides a reason to exist. The fundamental error in traditional financial independence thinking is defining success by the complete absence of effort. The high performers who successfully navigate early wealth use their money as a permission slip to reject forced labor. They see the capital as a way to say no to things that don't matter, while keeping the door open for work that does. A durable transition requires a specific, hard problem to solve before the resignation email is ever drafted. You need to know exactly what mission you are moving toward, rather than just what environment you are moving away from. Sustainable meaning thrives on contribution. Deploying your freedom to solve real-world problems creates a sense of satisfaction that simple consumption will never match. Real financial independence provides the rare privilege of choosing your own struggles. It allows you to trade a soul-draining grind for a challenge that you actually own. The most expensive financial mistake happens when someone wins a game designed for escape, only to realize they never built anything they actually wanted to reach. The objective is to retire from work that lacks meaning. When you hit your number, make sure the very next morning begins with a challenge that earns your full effort. I want to know what your second mission would be if money was no longer the limiting factor. Describe it in the comments. Hit like and subscribe for financial truths that are too uncomfortable for most people to say. See you